Hi, I'm Wendy Ventura, personal and relationship coach. Thanks for joining me. We're up to day 25 today of the 40-day marriage challenge that we've been doing lately. So yesterday we talked about doing some fun activities with our spouse and either marking them in the calendar or doing it straight away, or even just bringing some fun into our normal everyday activities. I'd love to hear how you're going with that. But today we're talking about being secure in our identity. And this is so important in our marriage because when we're secure in our own identity, we take that pressure off our spouse to be the one to validate us and affirm us and to be meeting our every need. And we take that responsibility on ourselves and we look for that security from within and from, as most of us watching these videos are Christians, as believers, we look to God to have our needs met and to find out who God says we are through Christ. So that's what we're talking about today. So the 24-hour challenge that we're going to be doing is to be able to write down a few statements, a few sentences about who you are, and as believers, who you are, who God says you are, which you can find out in the Bible, and being secure in that, and then reading it to yourself maybe 3 times a day to just reinforce those beliefs. And often we'll find that as we're going through this exercise, our own self-talk we start to become aware of is not in line with these beliefs of who God says we are, and so they may need changing along the way in this process. And then just by repetition and meditating on these beliefs, which we put together into what we call an identity statement, just reinforcing who God says we are. And then that will change the way we see ourselves, and that will change the way we live. It will change what we bring into the relationship. When we are more secure in who we are, the relationship will stabilize. And that's definitely what we found in our marriage. This is probably one of the most pivotal and transformational things that we did, was to work on our own identity. And it definitely stabilized our marriage at a time when it was pretty rocky. So I could talk about this topic all day. So who does God say we are in His Word? And I can give you references for some of these if you're interested. Just send me a personal message. But through Christ we are said that we are forgiven, we are made righteous, we are redeemed, we are loved, we are adopted, we're God's children, we're chosen, we are secure in God's hand, we're victorious, accepted, redeemed. The list goes on. So put some of those things into some sentences and personalize it with your name. Maybe even start the sentences with I am. You can include your unique strengths and gifts in these sentences if you like. And then just check out your self-talk, see if you're in agreement with who you believe God says you are. And this can take time to get into alignment. And then through this process, you'll, in a nutshell, feel loved, you'll feel good enough, and you'll feel significant and precious. And when we can come confidently into a relationship with this gift, we're not dependent upon our spouse to meet those needs, but we can bring our best into the relationship and contribute in our own unique way. We can then complement each other, encourage one another in your unique strengths and gifts, and just be a team like we talked about. You're on the same team, although you're both unique, you're both got your own identity, which you can both be secure in, and together unite. So I'd love to hear how you go with this exercise. Let me know if you'd like any more support through this. It's something that usually does take a lot of time, so although this is a 24-hour challenge, we're starting today. You can write out these statements and start meditating upon them and allowing them to soak into the depths of your soul to really transform the way that you're going to live your life and bring that into your marriage. You'll find that you are more confident, you'll feel stronger, and I think as you do this, you may find that, as we talked about, there may be a shift in some of your values and your needs and your boundaries that we talked about over the last few days. And as this happens, you know, when you become more aware of who God says you are and change the way you live, there may be changes that are required within the relationship. And hopefully your spouse comes on board with this and respects this. Otherwise, sometimes there may need to be some consequences or some follow through. But more often than not, your spouse will appreciate and see a difference in the way you start living your life and feel more secure in the relationship as well, and maybe follow your lead. So yeah, here to support you if you need any extra. Otherwise, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.